Today, we are diving into one of the most haunting and widely followed crime stories in recent memory. A story that began as a cross-country adventure between two young lovers and ended in heartbreak, mystery, and a search that captivated the world. This is the story of Gabby Petito, a 22-year-old woman whose dream was to explore the beauty of America's landscapes in a converted van alongside her fiancé, Brian Laundrie. It was supposed to be a journey of love and discovery. Instead, it became a journey into darkness. Gabby Petito was a free spirit. She loved travel, photography, and documenting her life online. Brian Laundrie, her fiancé, shared her passion for the outdoors. The two had known each other for years, their relationship alternating between intense closeness and periods of tension. In July 2021, they set out from New York on a cross-country road trip, planning to visit national parks and document their travels for friends, family, and followers. At first, everything seemed perfect. Their social media feeds showed smiling faces, scenic backdrops, and the promise of adventure. But behind the images, cracks were already forming. On August 12, 2021, police in Moab, Utah responded to a call about a possible domestic incident between Gabby and Brian. Witnesses claimed they saw Gabby crying and Brian acting aggressively. Police body cam footage captured Gabby visibly distressed, while Brian appeared calm, even smiling at times. Officers separated the two for the night, but no arrests were made. The stop was recorded, the footage later becoming a key piece of the public's understanding of what happened on what trip. Many now believe this was the first visible warning sign of the tragedy to come. As the trip continued, Gabby's online posts became less frequent and more controlled. Followers began to notice subtle differences, fewer candid smiles, more posed shots, and captions that felt unlike her usual style. Messages to her family were sometimes oddly worded, as if someone else might be sending them. Her last confirmed FaceTime call to her mother came on August 23rd. After that, the timeline becomes murky. On August 27th, witnesses reported seeing Gabby and Brian at a restaurant in Wyoming. According to those accounts, Brian was visibly angry, arguing with staff, and Gabby appeared upset. This would be the last confirmed public sighting of Gabby Petito alive. That night, her mother received an unusual text from Gabby's phone, one she didn't believe her daughter wrote. 2 days later, all communication from Gabby ceased. On September 1st, Brian Laundrie returned to his parents' home in Florida. He was driving the van the couple had shared. Gabby was not with him. No explanation was given to her family. 10 days later, Gabby's parents reported her missing. They immediately feared the worst, knowing she would never cut off all contact. Police questioned Brian, but he refused to cooperate, directing all inquiries through his lawyer. He became the prime person of interest, though no charges were filed at the time. The search for Gabby Petito began in earnest, focusing on the areas where she was last seen. Investigators combed through the Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming, working with local volunteers and using helicopters, drones, and search dogs. Social media exploded with theories, timelines, and amateur sleuthing. Millions began following the case, sharing tips and speculations, turning Gabby's disappearance into a global phenomenon. As the days passed, public outrage grew. Many criticized Brian for staying silent, believing he held the key to finding Gabby. Protesters gathered outside the Laundrie home, chanting for answers. Meanwhile, Gabby's family made emotional pleas on television, begging for their daughter's safe return. The FBI joined the investigation, elevating the case to a national level. On September 19th, search teams found human remains in a remote area of the Spread Creek dispersed camping site in Wyoming. Nearby, they discovered items linked to Gabby. The area matched the last known location from her phone records. The discovery brought the investigation to a heartbreaking turning point. 2 days later, the FBI confirmed what many had feared. The remains were those of Gabby Petito. The coroner ruled her death a homicide caused by strangulation. The joyful, adventurous young woman whose smile had lit up countless photos was gone. The search for Gabby had ended, but the search for justice was just beginning. Just days after Gabby's body was found, Brian Laundrie vanished. His parents claimed he had gone hiking in the Carlton Reserve, a vast and treacherous swamp near their home. Search teams, airboats, and K-9 units combed the reserve, but found no sign of him. Rumors swirled that he had fled the country, or that his family was hiding him. Each day, the mystery deepened. The Carlton Reserve proved to be a brutal search location. Alligators, snakes, thick mud, and deep water slowed progress. For weeks, police and federal agents scoured the reserve without success. Every possible sighting of Brian was reported, but none were confirmed. The manhunt became one of the most followed in the country. Online forums lit up with speculation. Some insisted Brian was alive and hiding in plain sight. Others believed he had died soon after entering the reserve. Amateur detectives dissected every scrap of information, creating maps, timelines, and theories. The case blurred the line between investigation and entertainment, drawing both criticism and fascination. On October 20th, investigators discovered personal belongings in an area of the reserve that had previously been underwater. Among the items was a dry bag and a notebook. Not far away, human remains were found. Dental records confirmed they belonged to Brian Laundrie. The FBI later determined he had died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Inside the recovered notebook was a chilling confession. Brian admitted to killing Gabby, claiming it was a mercy killing after she was injured. Investigators, however, pointed out the inconsistencies and evidence of abuse leading up to her death. For Gabby's family, it was not an explanation, only confirmation of what they already knew. Gabby's case ignited conversations nationwide. Advocates for domestic violence victims used her story to push for better protections. Others highlighted the racial disparities in missing persons coverage, questioning why Gabby's case drew massive attention while others were ignored. The tragedy became a catalyst for broader discussions on safety, abuse, and media bias. Gabby's parents pursued legal action against Brian's parents, accusing them of withholding information. They also sued the Moab Police Department, claiming officers failed to act during the August 12th stop. The lawsuits sought justice, but also aimed to force systemic changes to prevent similar tragedies. Gabby's social media accounts became a memorial. Thousands left comments expressing sorrow, anger, and solidarity. The hashtags Justice for Gabby and Gabby Petito spread awareness worldwide. Her name became synonymous with the fight against intimate partner violence, and her images became a symbol for countless advocacy campaigns. Her family channeled their grief into action, founding the Gabby Petito Foundation to help locate missing persons and support victims of abuse. They traveled across the country, speaking at events and using Gabby's story to inspire change. In her memory, they worked to protect others from the same fate. Gabby Petito was more than a headline, more than a case. She was a daughter, a sister, a friend. She was a young woman who wanted to see the world and share its beauty. Though her life was cut short, her story has left an enduring mark on millions. Through the voices she's inspired, the laws she's influenced, and the awareness she's raised, Gabby's light continues to shine, a reminder of both the fragility of life and the urgent need to protect it. Gabby Petito's journey began as a dream, a road trip filled with adventure, love, and freedom. But along the way, her life was stolen in an act of violence that shook the nation. Her story is more than a tragedy. It's a reminder of the warning signs of abuse, the importance of speaking out, and the need to protect those who may be in danger. It forced a conversation about domestic violence, mental health, and how quickly a relationship can turn from loving to lethal. Gabby's laughter, her adventurous spirit, and her love for life remain in the memories of those who knew her, and in the hearts of millions who never met her. But now, the question is yours to answer. If you saw someone in Gabby's situation, would you recognize the signs? And more importantly, would you do something before it was too late? If this story moved you, like this video, comment your thoughts and share it, because awareness can save lives.